Hello everybody and welcome to a new Python tutorial. And in today's tutorial, I'm gonna be talking about handling errors in Python. So we use this thing called try and accept to handle errors in Python. So this is a very important step of Python programming because uh, you know if you're suppose making a Python a program and then you get an error, so you don't want your entire program to break due to an error, right? So you want to handle that error so that you don't have any errors. So let's get started with it. Try and accept, and let's learn how to handle some errors. So let's get started. But before that, please hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss out on my future videos. And let's get started. So to try and accept. So what that basically does is it actually tries the piece of code that you put inside try, and then if it doesn't work, then it just goes to accept and just executes the code that is inside accept. So like if I put try and then I just put this tab and yeah, so now this piece of code is inside try. Now, whenever we are running, this will try these lines of code, and if it doesn't work, then it will go to accept and print out whatever is in here. But if nothing goes wrong, then it's okay. We won't even go to the accept. We'll just ignore it. But yeah, so right now we have this. So let me just remove it for a second. Right now we have this, basic thing. We have this variable that has some inputs. So let me run it. So we can enter a number and everything looks great. But what if we enter a string instead of a number? What if a user, completely like ignores the prompt and just enter anything? So then you can see it just yells at us with a error. It says traceback and see value error. So we want to avoid that, right? We don't want our program to crash just due to an error. So to do that, we just do this. We use try and accept. So now let me put this inside a try, and yeah. So and then let me put accept, and now I could just print invalid error. And now let's do it. So it says enter number. Okay, great. So if I do 12, everything's okay. But if I do AST now, you can see it isn't showing an error. It's showing this invalid error message from us. So that's pretty great. So that's how that is working. So yeah, so that's what we use to avoid errors. But that's not it for accept, try and accept. So, right now you can see this highlighting under the accept. Well, that is due to, a broad thing. So, what that means is right now it is handling a broad area of errors. Like it is handling multiple errors. So, if you have like two, three errors inside this, it can handle value error and all different kinds of error right now, but it will print invalid error for each everything. And yeah, so we don't want it like that. Now what you could do is you could say value error. So that's what we're doing here. We're checking for a specific type of error. So what that means is before we were checking for all kinds of error, but now we are checking for a specific type of error. So and that this error is like you are inputting like string instead of a number and a float instead of an int and like that kind of stuff. And now that it will be working the same. Now let me get a variable and I'm just gonna name it 10 divided. I'm just gonna name it variable var. And then if you don't know anything about maths, you know that nothing can be divided by zero. You can't just divide it. So let me run it. And as you can see, it shows error. zero division error. Now let me put this into a try. So if I put this into a try, let me just remove it for a second. Now as you'll see, it isn't showing an error because it's just accepting it and just putting invalid error. I mean, oh, why have I put invalid error? It should be invalid value or invalid input, let me say. No. So you can say it shows invalid input. Well, we haven't even inputted anything, right? It's just the program. So now if I just do value error, now we're not checking for any division by zero error. We're only checking by value error for value error. And now if I run it, you can see you're getting this error, zero division error, because well, we're not accepting it. We're only checking for the value error. Well, now what you if you're doing this, you can just do like you can create another except which would accept the zero division error. And now if I print, well, I can print division by zero. And now if I run it, you can see it shows division by zero. So that's working great. So that's how these guys work. That's how try and accept works, basically. So there are all different kinds of error, not just these errors. You can say a lot of errors actually. So, and I'll not go over that. So what's happening here? Let me just review over what I have done here. So try and accept, handling errors. And what is happening here, we are using this try method to try these piece of code, and if it works then it's great. If it doesn't, then we're going to these except statements, and then we're checking if we have a value error or a zero division error. Right now we're checking for a specific error, but we can check for all kinds of error too, but I think specific error is better. So well, that's it for this video guys, and I hope you like the video, and please subscribe to the channel. It helps me out a lot, and you don't miss out on my future content. And well, this is it for this video guys, and I'll see you in the next one.